All right, I'm really happy to be doing this little bouquet of roses. These roses are from my garden, and this little mug or stein is something that my mom gave me. I've seen in my life, my whole life, and I actually did another watercolor of the same kind of setup with the roses in this pitcher or stein or what have you. But one day I ruined it by wiping it with a washcloth on kind of, I wasn't really thinking about what I was doing, and I really liked the sketch, so I want to redo it. And I love this just kind of simple thing. It's just so great just to sketch just everyday objects that are kind of in your sphere, in your life, recording them. So this is a pretty little object here, and the roses are beautiful. It's fun that they're from my garden. And I'm just going to get a little sketch going here. Petals. Shapes are really fascinating. The way they interlock. And I'm not really sure what I'm going to do background-wise. I haven't decided yet. This little scallop. All right, I think that's pretty good. And so I'll just go ahead and get some color going. So now I have 2 jars of water. When I'm painting at home with watercolor, when I have the opportunity to have extra water, it's great because you can use one for rinsing out your brush and one for mixing. Hopefully, you stay kind of disciplined about it. It can get tricky. I'm just going to start out with an overall wash on this guy. I don't want to use too much water. So I have a tendency to get too much water going, so I'm going to use a paper towel here to take a little bit of the water out. So you can just come across with an overall wash on this guy. A little bit more paint. I just drop some paint in there, and it's nice. And I think I'll use that same color, maybe mix a little something a little oranger for these other guys. It's a little softer kind of color. These roses, they're called, I bought this kind of rose because it's called the Alfred Sicily rose. I just couldn't resist. There's some kind of little bit of yellow in here. Let's see if I can get that without losing the... That's because it's got some... Yeah, that's nice. Get a little more in the center here. It's fun. I'm going to come over here to this guy and I'm going to pull out some color to get the softer edges here. So just using the brush to do that. These rose petals, that's pretty effective. Get that kind of soft look. And then the center has, I'm gonna grab a little bit of dioxazine purple. Get those centers a little dark. And so I'm just kind of getting the character of the petals, not trying to do every single one. And I may come in with some pencil line or pen line, probably pencil, just because I want it to keep it real soft and I think that a nice soft pencil line would work better. I'm going to add some little bit of red. Okay, now I'm going to go for some green. Nice dark green. And I can actually use the green to kind of carve out some of the petal shapes. I'm going to get a little bit of different kind of color in here. And it's kind of fun because I've got a photograph, but I've also have the flowers right in front of me. So kind of using both. And when I can do that, that's really nice. It's fine to work from photos, but just to really see. Let's see. That direct observation is kind of nothing like it. Now this top flower, it has a lot of yellow in it. So I want to get some clean yellow. Let's see. It really has quite a bit. It's nice. And I think I'm going to keep that real simple like that. And I'm thinking the background, it'd be nice just to have just a little bit of color back in here. And I'm going to let some of that play with the flowers just a little. Now that vase, it's kind of a aqua. And it's got these little design. This little duck right there. It's kind of raised. So it's got a little dimension to it. Super fun. And then that handle. Just kind of it's got like a sort of also a little design on it. The duck. It's fun. It's just really fun to see what you can do with the watercolor, and it's really neat. Okay, so now that has got a little bit of color. And a little bit more red to it, kind of pink, brownish. And there's some little flowers on here. They look like little carnations. And the vase itself is kind of in shadow, so we need to get and indicate that. Cast shadow here. Nice. Doesn't have to be, can be kind of subtle. Down here. And one thing I'm happy about, I remember in the other version that I did, I didn't get the whole vase in the sketch. So it kind of had it running off, which is never ideal for me. I want to get, I don't want to have things running off my composition. So it was just kind of a lack of planning on my part there. So this time I got the whole thing in, so that's really nice. And I can even get a little cast shadow under there. I'm going to do a couple little things on this rose. Let's just separate out a couple more petals. That's nice. All right. I'm going to get a little cast shadow now on my vase. It's also really nice. And I think I want a little right here. The vase has actually got a little bit of a, and it might be from age that the ceramics a little yellowed, but that's fun to get. And so yeah, I like that. All right, last thing I'm going to do is with the watercolors, I'm going to get a little more of this blue, I think, back here. And I'm gonna put some writing, and on this facing page, I'm planning to do a shelf of my hutch in my studio, which has a lot of little still life items in it. So we'll do that in another video. So I'm going to let some of this dry, and then maybe just a little bit of pencil line. Just to articulate some of this detail. Yeah, cool. And come in and do a little bit with the petals in here. And maybe that's just a little much, so soften it up. Great thing about watercolor. Really nice. Okay, let's let that dry. And I think actually I'm going to come in and a little splatter. Nice, good. Okay, I'm going to come in with some pencil line now and really give this a little bit more character. And I've put out some gouache there just in case I want to do some little highlights. I think that would be nice too. Just a little line, it just gives it a little pop. I love how that just gives that dimension that is really, that the actual vase really has, so that's cool. And the duck's swimming on the water. I like the pencil line for this rather than a pen. It's a little softer look, which to me fits with the roses, with the flowers. And come in to these petals with a little line as well, just keep it all kind of cohesive. And it's fun. Kind of a scribbly idea in here. Kind of a sketchy look. I like it. Yeah, I like it a lot. Has a neat look to it. Just kind of gives it that little polish. Really nice. All right. How about some gouache? I hesitate to put any on the flowers. Maybe there's a couple opportunities for that, but maybe on the rose, just like so, almost like little bits of water on there. And this one. This one to get that those little kind of pattern that's happening. All right, so how about, I'm thinking mostly on this guy, on the vase here. Get it really going here. That's fun. A couple more in here, just kind of got to get enough to kind of say it like you mean it. I think that's good. All right. So add a little text to this page, maybe even a title, I'm not sure. And then actually I also want to get a little more of this spattering in, because I think, again, I just want to, if I'm going to include something, I want to, again, say it like I mean it. And along that same train of thought, I want to get a little bit more color in here. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, that just gives it a little more punch. I think that's really good. And I'll get a little bit more that same. Nice. And one more thing. A little bit more color there in that cast shadow. Okay, good. It's I think it's kind of sweet and nice. So get this all in shadow. Right. Excellent.